Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's your boy again, Pigskin Pete. Happy Monday to everybody. I figured this would be a great time because it's a lot of fun for me to do this. I don't think I've done one of these videos in maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks. I used to do these every single month during the season where I go to my YouTube creator studio and go to the comments and comment on the comments or respond to the comments live here on YouTube for you. And based on some of the comments that I got off of the video I posted earlier today, where I gave my honest thoughts, no trash talking, on Ohio State versus Clemson, my initial thoughts on that. And if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it, but I'll give you a brief breakdown of what I said. Now, all the comments won't be from that one video, but probably, of course, the most recent ones will be. All I said basically was I think Clemson's going to win the game. That's first and foremost. That I think that there's a slight edge in talent, and I emphasize slight from top to bottom between Clemson and Ohio State. I think there's a clear edge in coaching. When you're talking about a veteran coaching staff versus a new coaching staff, and a coaching staff in Clemson that has been to the playoffs and won national championships in recent years, and same thing with the players being more experienced in the playoffs and all that. That was basically it. So anyway, I wasn't trash talking, but it's going to be a long 3 weeks for Ohio State fans if all they've got is the ACC sucks, Clemson ain't played nobody, and that sort of thing. I mean, that's if that's all they've got, it's going to be a long 3 weeks. I mean, you got to come up with something better than that. Otherwise, I'm just going to completely destroy you over the next 3 weeks. But anyway, by the way, they weren't all, hate comments. There's a lot of good comments on there from Ohio State fans. I'll read those too. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go directly to the YouTube studio. If you guys haven't been here for these before, I'm just going to read and go through these. If for some reason I skip over your comment, there's no offense. It's not personal. It's basically, I'm not going to read the same type of comment over and over again. There's a bunch of them. If the comment is a novel, if it's going to take me 8 minutes to read it, I'm not going to read it in that case, and that sort of thing. So it's just in the interest of time. Otherwise, this video will be extremely long. So from the top there, you see that top one. Oh, here's the other thing. I know if you're watching this on a smartphone for some reason, the font in this app, on the desktop app, might be too small for you to read. I can't do anything about it because this app will not allow me to zoom in the same way I could just on my regular desktop, internet browser. So anyway, I'll read them. So the top ones down in order. So you can see it says this one came in 2 minutes ago. I guess that's as updated as it's going to get. This one is from Luke Godwin. The 3-0 record Clemson has against Ohio State is no mistake. Even your coach was pissed when he was 2 in the rankings because he didn't want to play Clemson. Yeah, did anybody see that video of him? The look on his face when he found out they were number 2. And he was lobbying for number 1. And if you read his lips, he says, oh boy. So that tells you all you need to know about that. Anyway, this guy said, a Chevy 1 says, it will be close if Justin shows up and OSU wins. If Justin clams up, Clemson wins. But it will be close. Like I said, whoever wins will beat LSU in the big game. Okay. Well, that's a fair opinion. Wister 18. This is extremely long one. Let's see how long this is. Yeah, that's too long for me to read. But, well, there's 2 of them there. He wrote that long one, and then he wrote that extremely long one below it. And it looks like I responded to that. I responded to a bunch of them, so I can't remember all of them. He's talking about the 2016 Ohio State team not being as good as this current team. First of all, I don't even know where you're getting that. I never even mentioned the 2016 team in that video, not even once. So, Andrew Demers. He says, top to bottom, more talented. I don't know what drugs you're on, but not sure you're going to let any real expert to agree with you. Quarterback, okay. Linebackers, okay. Receivers is a toss-up. If you actually watch Ohio State, like, assuming that I don't watch Ohio State, because they go 5 to 6 deep and they are all studs. Well, the same can be said for Clemson, sir. There's 5 stars on Clemson's team at receiver. I named one because he's the best in the country, T. Higgins. I didn't bother naming the rest. But all those guys are going to be NFL picks from freshman all the way up to senior. And one guy I didn't even name was Justin Ross, who's another stud first-round pick when he comes out. He's only a sophomore, though. And all you need to know about him is just go watch the way he destroyed Alabama in the national championship last year. I named Higgins because he's the best. That's all. Maybe if you watched Clemson, you'd know that. Every other position group, there's no way in hell. Well, there's no way in hell. I conceded that Ohio State's defensive line, and particularly the defensive end, is an advantage. But every other position group, I'm sorry, Trevor Lawrence is better than Justin Fields. Etienne's better than J.K. Dobbins. The linebackers at Clemson are better. The offensive line at Clemson is better. That's all there is to it. Listen, where's the stats here? Trevor Lawrence has been sacked 12 times this year, compared to Justin Fields been sacked 27. More than twice the times that Trevor Lawrence has been sacked. This is the best offensive line that Clemson's had in my lifetime. Definitely the best offensive line that Dabo Swinney has had since he's been the coach there. And that's all there is to it. So I'll give you the defensive line, but at pretty much every other position group I give Clemson an edge to. And you can disagree with me you want, but guess what? We're going to find out. That's the fun part about this. We're going to find out together. The Crimson Card says, actually, I think Ohio State is missing 2 of their best cornerbacks, not trying to make excuses. Well, it sounds like you are. It sounds like you are. So, GSW 3011. I hear all the time that playing an extremely tough schedule means you'll have a huge injury risk. But I've never understood because you're likely to exit the game against a dumpster fire team with injuries as well. Of course you are. Of course you are. You can get injured, non-contact injuries. Does anybody think that Tua couldn't have got hurt playing against a scrub team? Wait. He did get hurt playing against a scrub team. As a matter of fact, you land the wrong way, get tackled the wrong way, you get hurt. That has nothing to do with the level of competition you're going against. If you're an Ohio State fan, you should know that better than anybody. When Barrett's injury occurred against the Cupcake team and your third-string quarterback led you to a national title. There you go. The Crimson Card, again, there's a shit ton of hype for Clemson versus Ohio State. Will anybody watch LSU? Yeah, of course they will. I mean, I do think you're right about there's definitely more hype between Clemson and Ohio State. And that's probably a little bit of shade being thrown at Oklahoma, because I think that most people think that the top 3 teams are a little bit separate from everybody else. But listen, Oklahoma earned their way in there. But I think the Clemson Ohio State will be higher viewed. Joe A., Ohio State fan here. I have nothing but the utmost respect for Clemson. You have an amazing team. In fact, the top 3 teams are all elite. We'll have to see what happens. Go Bucks. Now, see, this is what I was talking about. No trash talk there. Giving respect and saying we'll see what happens. So thank you, Joe. Kenneth Chapman. The top to bottom statement about talent. Shake my head. Where is your Chase Young? I mentioned Chase Young in the video and said he was the best defensive lineman between either team. So that's where he is. He's in the video. You don't have one. The comment about Dobbins. He is second in all-time rushing yards list at Ohio State, only behind Archie Griffin, who won the Heisman twice. He has passed Elliott, Eddie George, top backs in the NFL. That statement is only made by a biased Clemson fan, so I will take that with a grain of salt. Clearly, I'm a biased Clemson fan for saying that Etienne is better than Dobbins, but you, sir, are clearly not a biased Ohio State fan by disagreeing with me. I'm glad that J.K. Dobbins has second in all-time rushing yards at Ohio State, because Etienne is not only the leading rusher at Clemson, he's the all-time touchdown leader in the history of the ACC. And you're talking about great Hall of Fame backs in the NFL that he passed. And he's carried the ball hundreds of fewer times than J.K. Dobbins has. And of course, he has a higher yards per carry average. I'll take that with a grain of salt. Here's the Crimson card again. Of course you think Clemson will win, but it's cool you're a fan. But I'll be back to this video after the 28th. So if my boys take Clemson out, prepare for the shit talking, but no hate. May the best team win. Yes, I feel the same way, but here's the thing. You say you'll be back to this video after the 28th. You know how many times people have told me they'll be back, and after a loss, they don't come back? Because here's the difference between me and virtually everybody else watching. I will be back, win or lose any game. But most people run their mouth on YouTube 12 months a year, and as soon as their team gets beat by Clemson, because I'm a Clemson fan and I run a Clemson YouTube channel, these people magically disappear. So we'll see if you're right. I'll hold you to that. Because I'll tell you one thing. I will be here, win or lose. But I'm questioning whether or not you will be. We'll find out. Jay Brown. Did you say you think ETN is a top 5 in the history of college football? Yes, I do. He may not even be top 5 in the history of the ACC. This is straight retard material. Well, then you just got out-thunk by a retard, sir. Jay Brown. I just got done telling you he's the all-time leader in touchdowns in the history of the ACC. So, yes. Jack Harrington. Go Tigers, cannot stand Ohio State. Hope you guys play LSU in the final. He's I think Jack's an Alabama fan. Capper Cade. Clemson versus LSU championship. My top 2 teams all year. Let's go. That's more of an inside thing that he said, so I won't even bother you guys with that. Johnny the Truth Teller. This guy's on a roll here. Look at the next 5 comments are from Johnny the Truth Teller. An ironic name because he doesn't say a lot of truth. Clemson has sucked for 50 years, but now they think they belong with the big boys. 50 years. So a team that sucked for 50 years has literally 3 national championships in those 50 years and has beaten Ohio State 3 times, the only 3 times they played them in major bowl games within that 50 years. Man, they suck, don't they? And that's exactly what I told them here. I said, they suck for 50 years, and how come Ohio State loses them all 3 times? Clemson is your daddy. Show some respect to your daddy. You're going to hear a lot of this. I might even do a Clemson is your daddy video. I'm going to, for sure. That's been my mantra all year. And here's another lie from Johnny the Truth Teller. Ohio State is the winningest college football program. Clemson isn't even in the top 50 winningest football programs. Well, first of all, I'm not going to dispute Ohio State's the winningest college football program, but I'm pretty sure, and again, I don't know this, but I this is what I've heard from Michigan fans. Michigan claims that title. They claim that they won more games in the history of any other program. And I thought that that's what I've heard from a lot of places. So maybe you'll tell me I'm wrong. I don't know. But Clemson isn't even in the top 50, he says. Well, somebody at least let Johnny the Truth Teller know to stop telling lies. Because Clemson is the 15th winningest program in all of college football, as far as wins go. That's a long shot from 50, sir. Maybe next time, do a little bit of research before you start typing. It'll do you a lot of good, I promise. Then he says, this guy's really butthurt. Ohio State has stronger, faster, and tougher players. Okay, sir. Whatever you say. If you don't play anybody, then of course you're going to go undefeated, he says. Well, chances are after December 28th, when Clemson beats Ohio State. We still will have not played anybody. So, James Patterson. I got many close friends of football in Ohio. I like the Buckeyes. Even got a soft spot for because they did get shoved around some in playoff opportunities. Some of these, listen, I appreciate comments, sir. Some of this stuff is hard to read. And that's not going to change, but I'm going to go ahead and get it off my chest. Clemson will beat the dog doobie out of OSU, and it will happen so fast. Tell be thanking it was last week. OH has got some players and QB2, but a victory over Clemson, especially in the Y's, no friggin' way. There, I said it. Oh my God. Oh, look, it's Johnny the Truth Teller again. All 22 Ohio State starters will be drafted in the NFL. Can't say that about Clemson. Sir, all 22 Ohio State starters not going to the NFL. Just stop it. This guy drinking, what? I need some of what he's drinking. No way Ohio State has more talent than Clemson. He's saying no way Ohio State has more talent than Clemson. Here he is again. This guy wins the award. This is at least the 15th comment, isn't it? Has Clemson even played a top 20 team this year? Well, let's see here. Well, A&M was 12 when we played them, but first of all, here's my answer to that. How is it even relevant to who's going to win the Fiesta Bowl? It's not. Then he gives a score prediction, 42-21. Listen, 42-21. Listen, if you think Ohio State's going to win, that's great. I don't expect anything less from an Ohio State fan. But this 42-21, please, talk about a homer. See here, it looks like this is I don't know if this is a Clemson fan or not. 34-28 Clemson. That's more respectful. Bohica. I like how you assume it's the Buckeyes who will be making excuses. What happens when the Buckeyes, the first real team you play, beats your asses? You're going to be throwing some excuses? No. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you listened to the whole video, because I've clearly stated in the video that I don't make excuses for losses, unlike half of the college football fans, not only in the world, but certainly on social media. I show up, win or lose, don't make excuses, congratulate you, move on. But I've been on YouTube for a couple of years now, and believe me, I know for 100% fact that if Clemson beats Ohio State, there's going to be a bunch of excuses being thrown around. And that's not exclusive to Ohio State. Every team does it. I'm sure if Clemson loses, there'll be Clemson fans making excuses too. I'm just saying I'm not one of them. But again, there's a 100% chance that people will come on my YouTube channel if Clemson wins this game and start making excuses about injuries and about the ACC sucking and you name it. The refs, that's another big one. People love to blame the refs. They'll be talking about a holding call that happened in the first quarter, and that's the reason they didn't win. 100% chance that happens. I promise. Stick around. You'll see I'm right. Jay Felons. Dude, the only reason you say Clemson will win because you are a bandwagon and Ohio State is not talented with J.K. Dobbins, Fields, Chase Young, Chris Olave, and not even our coaches are better. Ryan Day is 16-0 on being head coach. Good luck and go Bucks. First of all, this might be the dumbest comment in the history of my channel. And that's saying a lot. Because believe me, I've had some very, very potato comments over the years. And it's going to be hard to beat that. For all you people out there that like to make potato comments, this guy, he's got the trophy, and it's going to be hard to beat. Way hard to beat. Let's just break down what this guy said. Aside from it barely even being legible, Dude, the only reason you say Clemson will win because you are a bandwagon. First of all, that's how you know that you've gotten under somebody's skin. And when they start calling you a bandwagon. Do you know how many people call me a bandwagon on a daily basis on YouTube? And Ohio State is not talented with Jay. Now, what he's saying here, even though it's kind of hard to get in the mind of a potato head, it's become somewhat of a skill of mine over the past couple of years on YouTube because I've had to decipher potato comments a lot over the past couple of years. So I've gotten pretty good at it. So what he's doing here is saying that I said that Ohio State's not talented, which is the exact opposite of what I said. That I said that J.K. Dobbins wasn't talented. That I said that Chase Young wasn't talented. That I said that Chris Olave wasn't talented. And not even their coaches are talented. When I literally said the opposite of that. Ryan Day is 16-0 on being a head coach. Now, I'm not a math major. And quite frankly, I'm not even great at math. I mean, I can do, I'm very good at addition and subtraction. I can even do my multiplication tables and division. Complex math, I need a calculator for, right? I'm not Einstein. But I don't need to be any of those things or even need a calculator to know that being 16-0 as a head coach is not near as good as winning hundreds of games as well as national championships. Comparing Ryan Day to Dabo Swinney might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, good luck with that. Here he is again. I can't wait to read this one. Pigskin Pete, there's always a chance, but you are talking as if the box score is already complete. My dude, how did I talk as if the box score is already complete? With a W in Clemson's corner. I said I think Clemson's going to win the game. Did I guarantee a win for Clemson? No. You guys haven't played any team like Ohio State. You guys haven't played any team like Clemson. Do you think that Wisconsin or Penn State is anything close to what you're going to see? No. Ohio State has played against great defenses. My boys are battle tested. Yours, not so much. There's no team in the playoffs that's more battle-tested than Clemson, sir. I don't care what league they play in. Again, how many playoff games have these players played in that are on this Ohio State team? I got the answer for you. Zero. How many players on Clemson's team have played in national championships and playoff games? All of them. All of them that were there last year or the year before that or the year before that. The true freshmen haven't. I think it's pretty safe to say these guys are battle-tested, sir. We have the better lines in the trenches. No, you don't. You don't have a better offensive line. All I'm saying is pump your brakes. No, you pump your brakes. Why would I pump my brakes? Ohio State is not the defending champion. Ohio State is not the one that's 28-0. As a matter of fact, Ohio State hasn't scored a point in the playoffs since 2014. You pump your brakes. To be the man, you got to beat the man. Listen. You can listen to the hype on ESPN and Fox Sports and the radio all you want to. They've been telling you all year that Ohio State's the best team and nobody's got a shot. That's all fun for everybody to say that until you actually got to line up and play the football game. Pigskin Pete, that's motivation for an extremely talented team. This is not NC State. Where did NC State come from? 3 seasons ago is an eternity in college football. The rosters are nowhere what they were then. Also, Ohio State is thankful to be part of that game. That loss is the reason why Ryan Day was hired. No, I don't know what you're talking about. 3 years ago, I'm assuming you're talking about Clemson versus Ohio State. Ryan Day was hired because Urban Meyer had a fake brain cyst and retired. But here's the other thing. That aside, I haven't mentioned 2016. Where do people keep coming up with this? I did not mention in any of these videos about 2016, other than maybe trolling and saying 31-0 and 0-3 versus Clemson. But in a serious way, I've never made a comparison between Ohio State's 2016 team and this one. I know they're better. And guess what? Clemson's team is better than that team too. Rick 11, Ohio State fan here, and been on your channel for about a month, and I honestly don't regret it. But this game will be the best semifinal. No excuses or anything. May the best team win, and hopefully Ohio State comes up close and wins the game. It will be a very good game and a close game. Kudos to you, Ryan, Ricky 11. Classy guy there, and not a complete and total moron like some of these guys. All I'm saying is this isn't the team that lost 31. What are these guys? Listen, they're the ones that are all in their feelings about 2016 because that's all they constantly bring up. They're bringing it up without me even saying anything about it. So, yeah. Let's see what else we got here. I know this video is probably getting long. I'd read that one, Artie, but it's a little bit too long. Again, with the Go Buckeyes, this is a different team this time, buddy. Again, I didn't even mention 2016, not once. He said Travis is top 5 all time in college. This dude knows no history at all. He should be slapped for even thinking that. Jay Brown, I'm waiting on you to come slap me. You're at least the 500th person over the past couple of years to tell me that they're going to slap me, beat me up, throw me in a trash can, you name it. I've heard it. Guess what's never happened? Nobody's ever done any of that. You're a keyboard typer warrior who hides behind a keyboard and will never do anything that you say you're going to do. Even when I go to these games, I announce where I'm going. I announce what parking lot I'm in. I announce where I'm sitting. I bring a video camera. People tell me they're going to come meet me and beat me up. Never happened. Never will, including you. And it's always the guys that say shit like that don't even put their face in their profile picture. He's probably 12 years old. Using his mommy's computer. Rich Armatrout. As a Buckeye fan, I'm going into this matchup with nothing but respect for Clemson. No excuses. May the best team win. There you go. Look at that. Classy guy there. This will be the last one here. Just in the interest of time. The Walking Geek. You lost me at I think their schedules or secondaries are a wash. Okuda is a top 5 pick this year. Emmet a late first round, early second round pick, and Wade will be a top 10 pick next year. Don't have to take my word. Go look at the mock drafts. Ohio State talent in the secondary is clear edge at Ohio State. Obviously, Clemson is talented enough to beat Ohio State. But let's be honest here. All right, let's be honest here. Everybody in Clemson's secondary is an NFL player too. Let's be honest about that. I realize that you're an expert on your team and how, their NFL talent, but maybe you should do some research on Clemson's secondary, which is not only the best secondary that Clemson's probably ever had, it's certainly the best secondary that Dabo Swinney's ever had, and it's the strength of this defense this year, not the defensive line. And it is the reason that they are a top 5 defense this year, because of the secondary. So yes, I believe it's a wash. All right. So that was fun. First of all, I want to thank everybody who commented, even the ones that are, trolling or attempting to trash talk. Continue to watch, continue to comment. No hard feelings. At least on my end. That's all I could say. All right. So I will see you guys very soon. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. You know the whole thing that all the YouTubers say. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, all that shit. Have a good one. Pigskin Pete. Checking out.